if you date someone who has judgments about whether or not a skirt you sewed your damn self has some flaws, dump him.
You can make anything. Hey there, it's your pal Maddie. I wanted to start working out again, and then I realized I could sew something. Today, or this evening, what have you, what is time? Time is an illusion. I will be sewing a petticoat that I've been trying to make since I was like 13. I almost sewed this once in high school when my grandmother was here, but we lost a part of the pattern, and then right before she left we found the part of the pattern that was missing again. So I have the instructions out. I have pieces laying on the floor. The first problem is I can't remember which fabric I have for which skirt, which petticoat. I think it's A. Oh, you know what? It's E. I'm sorry. I was looking at it wrong, but I don't know. Okay, let's get started. We're gonna try to make this. And you can, it's not see-through in this image. It just is on the outside. Interesting. We're getting into French seams. I hope I remember how to do them. Stitch yoke front. I have a sewing question. So I'm sewing a petticoat. Look at all this greatness. So my real question is, do I need 2 of these or 4 of these?
You only need to cut 2 of them on the fold.
Okay.
You have a seam ripper, right?
Yeah. I have a seam
just
ripper.
A little bit of extra fabric. You got like a little bit of extra fabric, at least?
We'll see.
A petticoat's an undergarment, right? You're gonna wear this underneath stuff. So here's the thing, is that if you mess up your yoke, you can just find some scraps of a different fabric.
That's a great thought.
You know what kind of fabric content you're making this out of?
No, it's what someone gave me a billion years ago.
Cut the fabric, yeah. It's probably synthetic silk.
I know I probably should have ironed before I cut, but I didn't.
It's an underskirt. It's not as big of a deal.
Great.
You definitely should iron. You 100% should iron before you cut things.
I know.
But, like, it's not even a fitted undergarment. Oh, also, how are you finishing the seams? Encasing your seams in bias tape is a seam finish. Zigzagging the edges is. Overcasting or serging edges is a seam finish. The seam finish on jeans is a flat foul seam.
Can I cross stitch?
A zigzag?
Like a zigzag?
Are you talking about the catch stitch?
Probably.
Yeah, it being called the cross stitch bothers me because there's cross stitching is a thread painting art.
I'm sorry.
No, you are correct. It is called the cross stitch. It just bothers the crap out of me. It's a herringbone catch stitch. That's what it is.
My cat's just attacking the paper. We hope for the best. The yoke, do I don't need to fit it to my body because it's...
Yeah, no.
Okay.
It either has to fit over your hips or around your shoulders.
Okay.
So for anyone who doesn't know, in order to secure your seams on a sewing machine, what you need to do is stitch over a spot front to back on the beginning and the end.
Wow, it really just barely fits my hips. I did not realize.
Do you have mobility wearing it on your hips?
Oh, yeah. If it's here, it's fine, because my butt's here.
A little higher?
Yeah.
I would like to give you a spoiler.
Yeah.
If it's a skirt, you don't have to follow the pattern exactly, because skirts are relatively easy. If it fits you better like that, then you should wear it like that.
After cutting my pieces, I kind of stopped following the directions.
It's not the best, but it's not the worst.
And nobody's gonna see it.
I just hope it lives. You know what I mean?
If any of your seams get bad, you can always use some bias tape to cover up the problem.
Okay.
Hey, it doesn't look as bad as you thought. Yeah.
Maddie, you can 100% get this done in the next half an hour.
Thank you. I will get this done in like a half an hour.
More like many more hours.
My cat ate the corner of the paper.
It's fine, you don't really need the pattern anyway. It's a series of tubes, Maddie.
I mean, yeah. But I mean, like, it's nice to have to know that I'm doing something right.
Yes. Oh, yes.
I did not iron this. I'm just gonna iron it at the end.
That's like really not how you do that, but like, go off, I guess.
What? Not ironing until the end?
Yeah, it means that you don't really know for sure that your fabric will fit together right. You'll probably be fine because, as I've said before, no one's gonna see it. Except for someone who should not care if your petticoat is a little bit off because he's being blessed by your body. Yes. And I'm only saying a man because I know that you like guys. If you are into anyone and they will be upset about something you made yourself being not perfect, dump them. They're not worth it.
I need 4 of these. That's wild.
Cut your fabric with your cat who just wants to play with the fabric. Your cat and the fabric are best friends. Don't do this at home. I'm not your example to sew with toes. But wow, that's a big piece of fabric.
Today is the morning, and I made this whole thing last night, but we need to add this guy to it. And I want to add the whole thing because that's the floofiest. Do you ever think about like how like the yolk of a dress, you're just thinking like egg yolks? It's like giving your hips a hug, like a little egg.
It's important to iron every sew you stitch right after you're done. I didn't do that here, so I'm doing everything from last night, which really sucks. From now on, I'm ironing every stitch right after I sew it.
I want it to be a little bit tighter. This side's a little too big. It does make an interesting figure on this side without a corset or stays or anything. This fabric, I have a lot of it. I want to use all of it. I don't know. I guess I'm gonna like fold it every inch, kind of like I did this. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna fold it like pleated, just like this. I don't like bunching as much. I know some people like bunching. Do I not pleat it? Do I like
Existential concepts to sew about.
see how it goes? And then like bunching it up will be helpful. It might not be helpful, but gosh darn it, it's what I've got. So I just had a workout. Everything kind of feels like a lot, but also like vibrant and beautiful and lovely. Because working out feels good. You just don't want to do it initially. Then you're like, wow, thanks body. Or wow, your body says thanks to you, I guess.
How do you all feel about bunching fabric? Is pleating better? What do you think? I don't know.
Oh. Those are not. There's a hole! Oh, I'm sad. Oh. I don't trust this. I'm not skilled enough.
And so I pleated the fabric, pinning it onto the first layer. Rebecca told me to hand stitch all of this, and I was not looking forward to that, although my shoulders were about to get a second workout. Is it just me, or during this process, this part kind of looked like a 1920s dress? Not that part.
I have this nice unfinished part in the back. I mean, like, it's all here, but there's an extra bit, and I think I'm just gonna put it over the butt, and do that kind of thing. And then, so that goes there. We'll just swoosh it in like that for now. Elegant. Like, I'm debating whether to do like that or do another on each section. Like looser we're gonna play with it, but first this needs to be done in the back, and then before that even happens, I need to iron what I've already done.
If anyone was wondering what I was listening to during all of this hand stitching, I listened to the soundtrack of Dark and the soundtrack of the original Sleeping Beauty by Disney. Those don't seem to go together, but they do. At least a little bit. I didn't want this video to get blocked if I played some of those songs, so enjoy the classical free music that I had access to. Here we are. I was no longer satisfied by the elastic waistline, so I cut the waistband out and I took a very long shoestring and wove it into the waistline's place with a safety pin. This way I can tie it on instead and it will be far more secure and never lose its stretch, like a ballet shoe. The last part I needed to do was to hem this part of the dress, which once I pinned it, I could do with the sewing machine, which felt like a lifesaver. My shoulders were so sore from all of those seams. Anyway, I hemmed the front about an inch. The back was longer, so I eyeballed where that hem should go based on the front, and it worked out. I used the hand stitches and the sewing machine to secure the opening for the tie at the waist. I also secured the tie by doing another layer around the waist, just to make sure that it couldn't really go anywhere, that it was kind of safe on my body and with the fabric. I hemmed the bottom many times for security, but I also felt like it looked pretty. So this is the final product. It's not perfect, but that's not the point, and it's a lot of fun to move in, which is super cool. I should tell my 13-year-old self that dreams do happen, you know? The bullies can't get you all the time. This process reminded me how good it is to just make something with your hands, something that you can touch. We make things all the time on our computers, or we do other things that we can't really, see or feel, and it just feels good to make something that is right in front of you. Anyway, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this process. May your processes work to your own fruitions. Have a lovely day, and keep trying new things, keep creating out there.